Awesome. Okay, we are recording. I'll just give everyone a quick minute to get in. Hi, Barb. How are you? Say hi in the comments. Just let me know you're here. Let me know you can hear me and see me good. Hi, Robert. Hey, guys. Oh, let me silence my own phone here. There we go. So you guys don't hear that. Awesome. Hi. Hey, everyone. Awesome. Cool. Thank you for joining. I'm excited to dive into today's content. I have some juicy stuff to share with you guys. So just say hey in the comments. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and dive in because I have tons to share with you guys. Awesome. Thanks, Barb. Cool. Okay, I have the green light that you guys can hear and see just fine. So today I want to talk about 6 really stupid simple steps that you can take and that I have used and continue to use to generate either your first or your next 5 figures. I'm going to share some pretty cool strategies with you guys, some simple steps. So have a pen and a notepad handy so you can take notes. And so the first thing that I want to do is just let you know that you're in the right place, okay? If you know, if you want to learn these proven strategies that are easy, they're fast to implement, and they produce results so that you can quickly create your first or next 5 figures in your business. So that's really important. I want to make sure that if that is resonating with you, sits tight, you're in the right place. Okay, also the next thing too is that if you want to stop dabbling in activities that are not working and start focusing on money generating tasks so that you can finally see a return on investment for the time that you're putting in, then you're in the right place. And then finally, if you want to eliminate all the hustle and just really focus on the tasks that move the needle forward in your business and get you results, then you're in the right place, because these are the things that I'm going to share with you on the webinar here today, okay? If you have questions along the way, post them in the comments, because I will be answering questions throughout, probably towards the end of the training. So keep your questions handy. Here's my promise. You're going to discover 6 proven steps to generate your first or next 5 figures faster and easier than whatever you're doing right now. And I promise that it's going to be absolutely fluff and bullshit free, meaning I'm not going to fill today's training with a bunch of fluff stuff, and I am not going to talk bullshit to you at all. I'm going to get down to the facts, down to the steps. That's my promise for today. So we're talking about the 6 steps that I have been using that are proven to work. They're working for me. They are working for tons of my clients, and they can work for you too. They're really, really simple steps, and it's going to help you to generate either your first or your next 5 figures, depending on where you're at, okay? All right, so before we dive in, I just want to make this really clear that in order for you to generate money in your business, you need 2 things in place, okay? So I want to share this because you have to have these 2 things in place in order for the 6 steps to work. So the first thing is you need traffic. So you need an audience. Rather it be an email list, social media, traffic, Facebook group, rather it be you know, that you have, maybe you do live events and you do a lot of networking and you have access to people in the community. Regardless of what it is, you need traffic, because if you don't have traffic, then you have no way to make money, right? The second thing is you need an offer for that traffic, not just any offer, but you need to have an offer that is sellable. You need to have an offer that is a solution to the problem that your traffic is having. Okay, so these 2 things have to be in place. You can't have one without the other. You need to have the target traffic, and you need to know what their problem is, and then you need to have the offer for that traffic that presents the solution to their specific problem, okay? So step number 1, let's dive into these 6 steps. Step number 1 is to look at your profit possibility, okay? So the very first thing you need to do if you're looking to generate hit that 5-figure mark, or any amount of income for that matter, you need to look at your profit possibility. So basically, you're looking at what opportunities you have in place, or that you have available to you that will help you to generate income. So if you know that you need to generate a certain amount of income, you also need to be looking at your profit possibility. So what do you have in place? What opportunities do you have? What access do you have in place in order to help you generate that income that you are desiring to generate? Okay, so you have to look at your profit possibility. So here's some examples of what this might look like. Thank you for the hearts. So profit possibility examples could be your current clients. Your current clients are absolutely your hottest target market, because these people are buyers. These people work with you. These people have experience with you. Your current clients are absolutely a starting point for looking at your profit possibility, because they've been working with you. They've already made an investment with you. So they are more apt to make another investment with you than any other lead that you have. Okay, so looking at what current clients do you have right now is the very first step I would recommend. Another example could be your Facebook group. So if you have a Facebook group and you are providing value to that group, you're in there, building relationships, you're supporting the people in your community, you're in there helping them and sharing tips and strategies and action steps with them that they really need, and you're just in there really getting to know them, then this is another great source of profit possibility for you, because the people that are in there have basically said, hey, I'm coming into your group because I like you, I dig you, I get what you're putting down, and I like it, and I want to learn more from you. So these people are in there looking for your guidance, looking for your strategies, and looking for your support. So this is a great place to target and to dive into and really say, what possibility do I have to generate profit from my Facebook group? Another profit possibility example could be referrals. I don't know, maybe I look at referrals as something different, but let me share what I look at a referral as, because a lot of people think about a referral as someone who has signed up to promote their stuff for a commission. That's what people think about when they think about a referral. Well, when I think about a referral and the way that I use referrals in my business, that of course is one way. But another way is a referral is somebody or anybody who has some sort of relationship with you, that believes in you, they support you, they encourage you and look up to you, and they think that what you're doing is really great. They see the benefits in what you're doing. They see the possibility. They really, stand up and stand with you in what you're doing. And you have a relationship with them, right, where you trust each other and you really take their opinions and suggestions to heart, like they matter to you. These people that you could think of, as I'm saying that, if you could think of people, those people hold profit possibility because they will support you, right? They will gladly tell other people in their community about what you're doing if you reach out and ask them, right? So a referral doesn't mean that you have to have people signed up as like affiliates and they earn commissions necessarily. That is one way. But another way is really writing out a list or putting it into a spreadsheet of people that you can think of who you feel support you, they get you, they dig what you're doing, they like what you're doing, they're supporters, right? So if you went to them and said, hey, I've got this amazing program that I've put together. I'm so excited to get this out there. I'm launching it. Here's the timeline. Here's some dates. Here's the benefits of this program. Here's what's really in it for my people. I thought about you and your audience when I was putting this together, and I thought how amazing it would be to get this in front of them because I think that it's going to do XYZ for them. Would you be willing to support me in getting this word about my program or service or offer out there to your audience. And I'm happy to reciprocate this offer in return for you when you do your next launch or when you have something that you really want to get out there in a bigger way. So you can present it that way. So that's a great option for people who don't really have, like if maybe you're not in a position where you can give out a commission, then you reciprocate the offer, meaning you will do this same thing for them at a later date or when they need it. And then of course the other thing is you can give them commissions for the people that they send your way who sign up. Okay, those are two options. This is a great place as well to really, because you're not only getting these people to support you, but you're building a relationship with the two of you and this other expert, and you're really getting that out into the online industry of like, hey, we are connected, we support each other, you know, and they are giving you some credibility to their public as well. So, and it gets you in front of people that you might not have got in front of otherwise, or maybe it would have taken you longer, right? So looking at referrals in that way is really a great way to look at what profit possibility do you have there. Another one is past buyers. So again, these are people that have already purchased from you. And what I really like to tell my clients is the amount they invest in you is completely irrelevant. So it doesn't matter if they purchased a $5 PDF download from you, or if they purchased, you know, a $7 audio, or if they purchased a $10,000 program or product from you. The amount that they invested is irrelevant. The fact is they've purchased from you. So they have raised their hand and said, hey, you know, I am going to buy this because I love it. It's what I need. And I'm resonating with this. And you're touching on exactly what I feel I'm challenged with right now. Past buyers is a great place for you to generate some additional profit because these people have already bought from you. They know, like, and trust you already. So you don't necessarily have to go through the whole nurture, warm them up because you've already done that. So now you're just going to connect with them again and see what you could put in front of them to take them to that next step. Next is you want to look at your email list. These are people that you should be nurturing and building relationships with and connecting with on a regular basis, a very consistent basis, and providing them with the value and the steps and actions and strategies that they originally signed up and got on your list for, right? So these people raise their hands as well, and they even went a step to say, hey, I'm going to give you my name and I'm going to give you my email and hop on your list, and I'm giving you permission to communicate with me, to email me directly, to share what you have with me, to help me. And they look up to you. They want to learn from you. They want you to model and demonstrate ways that they can also reach their goals. So these people are sort of in your list saying, you know, what's next? I'm waiting for you to tell me what you want me to do next. I'm waiting for you to share the next step with me. Like, they're waiting for that. And finally, another place, these are not all places, but I wanted to just share these 6 with you. This is giving you a lot of like immediate things you can tap into right now. But the final one that I want to share with you today is your leads. So a lot of entrepreneurs will come to me, and when we talk about leads, they don't really know what they have for leads. So basically, they have not been storing their leads in a place where they can quickly access them, or they're not sure if they have any leads. And what I recommend is that you have a spreadsheet, and inside that spreadsheet, you list all of these things: current clients, past buyers, your Facebook group, your email list, your referrals, your leads, people that you think are you know, absolutely people you can help. You want to add your leads to a spreadsheet in a centralized location where you can quickly access them, because these are your hottest leads. All of these 6 places that I shared with you right here are the hottest places for you to tap in to profit. These are your number 1 places to go before you start tackling and hammering on cold traffic. cold traffic doesn't convert fast, okay, because they need to be nurtured. They need to build a relationship with you. They got to know you. They got to like you, and they have to trust you. That takes 5, 6, 7, 10 times at minimum before those people can be activated as buyers, okay? So these sections here, the current clients, your Facebook group, referrals, past buyers, email list, and leads, these people already know, like, and trust you. So you can tap into these today and generate income right now from them. And then, you could still tap into cold traffic, but I would do it as a last resort. So meaning, while you're tapping into these 6 profit possibility places here, while you're doing that, you can bring in some cold traffic and start nurturing them. Okay, so, and you should be doing that consistently anyway. That's list building. You should be doing that, right? But when you're looking to generate an influx of cash, or you're looking to bring in fast cash into your business, you don't have time to hammer cold traffic. You need to tackle your hottest traffic right away first, worry about that, and then later you can go into, as a last resort, your cold traffic. But when you need fast cash, you don't have time to do that. So these 6 places right here are the places you want to go into, and I would recommend rounding up all of your leads. So who are people that have ever expressed interest in working with you? Who are people that you've had a discovery call with, like they're in your calendar? I typically go back into my calendar every 3 to 6 months, and I will go 3 to 6 months back, and I will take all the people I've ever had a conversation with, and I will take them out of my calendar and put them in a spreadsheet. Because these are people who have gone out of their way to not only express interest in working with me, but they've booked a call with me. They've gotten on the phone with me, and we've actually talked about working together. Now, whether they ended up signing up to work with you or not is not the point. It's still a lead. A lead is someone who might comment to one of your emails that you send out. They are reading your emails. They are clicking inside your emails. Those are leads. Other places where you could get some leads, and I'm just dropping some hot nuggets here for you, but some other places that you could get some leads would be inside your Facebook group. So maybe you post something and people, maybe there's a certain set of people in your Facebook group that like and comment on your posts. They share them out. They're active in your group. Those are leads. And same thing if you go into other people's Facebook groups. If you're going in other people's Facebook groups to try to generate income and results and leads in your business, then you need to make the most of that. So while you're in those groups, if you see people conversating around topics that you teach on, that you specialize in, you want to add that to a spreadsheet and make a note what they were talking about, why you feel that you could help them, because that's a lead. A lead is not always someone who's directly connected with you or directly reached out to you or that you directly spoke to on a phone. A lead is any person that you feel you can help, whether you've talked with them or not. Those should be tracked in a spreadsheet so you can access these super fast, okay? In my sales program right now, this is what I have my clients doing. My students are going out and they're rounding up all of their leads and they're putting them into a spreadsheet that I gave them. And now when it comes time to book in sales calls, they're gonna open that spreadsheet and go down that list and book calls like a mad person, okay? It makes it easier if you have this centralized in a spreadsheet versus having to go all over the place and try to figure out, like, okay, who are leads? Because that is a time suck. It takes too much time. When figuring out your profit possibility, you want to look at your hottest traffic first, right? Like I just explained, because they're going to be the fastest and easiest way to generate income above anything else, okay? Above any cold traffic or, and again too, even people on your email list, if they're not nurtured, if those people aren't really opening and clicking and joining your group and they're not very active, those people are not hot yet. They're not ready to buy from you. They're not even like taken any action or express an interest, right? So when you target your email list, target the hot traffic first. Target the people who are opening, clicking, who have gone ahead and gone from your list to your Facebook group as well. You want to target those people. So you're not sending a blast email to your entire email list because, one, not everyone is going to be ready to buy from you yet. You don't want to damage that relationship. And two, those people might not need what you want. So you need to, or might not need what you are selling or promoting. You have to make sure that that's congruent. So you want to target traffic that's hot first, okay? Remember that we're looking at the fastest and easiest way to generate your first or next 5 figures. So you don't want this to take a long time or be a lot of work. So let's dive into step number 2. And again, if you have questions, drop them in the comments below. I will answer them at the end, okay? All right, so let's dive into step number 2. We want to talk about your goals. When you're looking at your goals, you really need to think about what is your intention and your desired income, right? Now, I talk a lot about intention because I think everything you do should be intentional. So you need to have a clear reason why you're doing what you're doing. You need to have a good intention. You need to be in integrity, and you need to be really clear on what it is you're expecting. Like, what is the end goal? What is this outcome that you want? Because you're going to work backwards from that, right? So the other thing that you need to do is you need to take your goals and you need to compare it against your profit possibility. A lot of entrepreneurs, unfortunately, don't reach their goals, or they put a lot of work in and don't get results. They do a big launch and they hear crickets, or they put an amazing program out there, but because they didn't go through these steps, they end up not filling the program, and they think it's because they suck or their program sucks or something was wrong. And actually, it's because you just didn't go through the steps to make sure that the goals that you're trying to reach, that you have the inventory, the profit possibility in place to support those goals, okay? And I'll walk you through what this looks like. But here's a few things I want you to consider. When you're looking at your goals, I want you to ask yourself, what are your intentions for your business? What do you want to see happen over the next 90 days? Okay, you could do 30, 60, 90 days. Do whatever chunks of time you work in best. How much time do you have available to put into your business to reach these goals? So you really want to consider the effort and the work that's going to have to be put in order to reach these goals, which in these 6 steps, I'm showing you the fastest, easiest ways. So you should be able to reach your goals relatively quickly and easily compared to what you're doing now. You also want to ask yourself, how much work are you willing to do to reach your goals? I always ask myself that because, look, I don't hustle. I am hustle free. I don't like it. I always say, screw the hustle. It's one of my biggest statements. Screw the hustle. I'm not doing it. I'm not entertaining it. I'm not teaching it. I don't believe in it. And that's how I am. So for me, when I'm looking at certain goals, I always want to look at how hard am I willing to work? How much am I willing to put in to reach this goal? Because if I look at my goals and I'm not really willing to work that hard or put in that much effort, then I either need to adjust my goals, or I need to delegate or hire people or upgrade my systems. I have to do something, put something else or someone else in place to support the goals, right? So you have to make sure that you know and understand what it's going to take to reach a goal, and then what do you need or who do you need in place to support you in reaching that goal. Okay, these are super important things to ask yourself before you try to do a launch or fill a program or up level or put something brand new out there that you haven't done yet. Another thing is, what or who do you need in place to support you? So we just talked about this. Maybe it's a system. Maybe it's someone that can help you with the tech side of things. Maybe it's a copywriter. Maybe it's a coach. Maybe it's a salesperson. Maybe you just need to upgrade your email marketing system so you can automate some things some more. You really need to look at, just write down, do like a brain dump. That's what I do. Whenever I'm planning a launch, I do a total brain dump. And I say, what is everything I can think of that has to be done, right? Like everything that would have to happen for me to reach these goals. And I get out a piece of paper, or I go to my whiteboard and I literally just write out. I do a total brain dump on everything that I can think of that needs to be done. And then I divide that list. What are the things that I'm going to do? And what are the things that I'm not freaking tackling? This is not my deal. I'm not doing it. Those things, something or someone has to do because they need to be done to reach the goals. I'm not going to do them. So who is or what is? And you really, really need to make sure that you are considering all of this, because a lot of times when a launch fails, it's because you didn't have these things in place and you got stuck somewhere along the way, or you got confused, or you didn't know how to do something and your whole launch failed because of it. Okay? I hate seeing that. I don't want to see any of you guys working harder than you need to, or putting in the hard work, effort, and money, and then not getting the results I know you can all get. The next thing you want to ask yourself is, how much money do you absolutely have to make in the next 90 days? If you don't have something to work towards, you're not going to do the work. Okay. And the other thing too is that you need to know what needs to happen in your launch or in your promotion in order for you to generate a certain amount of income. So you need to know how much money you need to make. So you'll want to, I'm going to show you an exercise here that I do with my clients, but you absolutely need to be looking at, where is the money going that you're looking to generate? Because it needs a place to go. Money has to have a place to go. If you're just like throwing random numbers out, like, oh, I just want to make like 5,000 this month. I just want to make 10,000. I just want to do a launch, a $30,000 launch just because. Chances of you reaching those goals are really slim to none. And if you do, you're probably going to work your ass off, right? So you really need to make sure that the money has a place to go, and that you're working in integrity, right? So you want to reach a certain goal money-wise, because you're doing all these different things with the money. So maybe you're going to hire yourself a coach. You're going to do a donation or a charity for a charity somewhere. You're going to hire that tech person or that VA that you need so bad. You're going to finally upgrade your system. Maybe you're going to brand. It could be all kinds of things, but that's all given back, and it's given the money a place to go. And it inspires you to do the work because you know what possibility is at the end. You know that you can possibly do all those amazing things, right? Here is what I do with my clients. This is just a super, super simple exercise that you can literally do. And I recommend that you do this because I think that we get really hard on ourselves when it comes to generating income in our business. And I think that not only do we lack clarity around this sometimes, but I just feel like we get really hard on ourselves when we don't reach a certain goal and we beat ourselves up. You know what, this is hard as it is. We don't need to be beating ourselves up and being hard over the income on top of everything. So here's a little exercise I do with my clients. I call it the income slide-in scale. So you see this line here, and what I have on the left side is the bare minimum. This is the bare minimum that you are looking to generate. So when you look at the next 90 days, you're going to say, I can't make anything less than this much in 90 days. Typically, this is like our get by money, right? Like this will get us by. It'll pay the bills. It's going to help us, do the necessities, the basics, right? So this is that bare minimum. Now, here's what I think about the bare minimum. We always make the bare minimum no matter what. If you think about it, anytime you've really had to do something, like you got to make that car payment, you got to pay the rent, you got to get supper on the table, you have to pay that your electricity bill. Like whenever you think about it, there's always we're always able to make that bare minimum, right? Like, and sometimes it comes just in the nick of time, like last minute, but we make it. So the bare minimum is a given. You're not going to generate anything less than that. Like that's a given. So we put that over on the left side as, you know what, for this launch, I can't make anything less than this. That is our starting point, okay? Then we want to say this middle spot is the sweet spot. This is the sweet spot because if we can make anything over that bare minimum, we are freaking happy. It's like, yes, finally, I'm showing progress. The needle's moving forward. I made enough to make sure all the bills are paid, and I got this little extra, okay? Now, this isn't like the ideal spot quite yet, because that would mean that money's no objection to us, meaning we still don't need to, we want to be responsible, but we still don't need to count the bills. We don't need a calculator. We don't need to be really careful. So the sweet spot's not exactly where we all want to be, but it's the next step, right? It's definitely better than the bare minimum because it also shows that what you're doing is working. I always do this income slide and scale when I do a launch because I want to see if what I'm doing is working. So if I know and I look at my numbers and I say I need to make this much, no less than this, if I make this, great. I like to say if I'm at my sweet spot, if that's what I get, I have definitely exceeded my bare minimum and I'm doing something right. Whatever I'm doing is working. This is great because now you know this stuff, here's what worked to get me from bare minimum to sweet spot. Now you're going to be able to multiply that by improving it and making it even better so that you can get to the happy place. The happy place is where money's not an objection. The bills are paid. We can hire a team. We can upgrade our systems. We can take that vacation. If we need something, we can buy it. We don't really have to sit down and say, oh my gosh, can I afford it? How much money will we have left if we do that? I don't know. I would like to, but this is the happy place. This is where we have far exceeded our goals. We are sitting super financially comfortable. Money's not an objection, meaning it doesn't stand in the way of the things we want or need. So I tell my clients, let's look at what is your bare minimum. So even if we make just the bare minimum, we know that you're covered. Financially, your bills are set, right? There might not be extra, but your bills are taken care of. The necessities are there. Then I say, let's strive for that happy place. Let's create your launch around the happy place. So we're supporting that. But if we meet anywhere in the middle, we have far exceeded our goals and we're doing really freaking good and whatever we're doing is working. This is going to set completely eliminate the pressure of how much money you make in your launch or, how much money you bring in. Like this is going to allow you to be a little more gentle on yourself and kind of relax a little bit. And my clients say that when they do this, it relieves a lot of pressure. It just makes them feel better. It makes them feel like they don't feel so stressed out about the money. And they look at the numbers and say, this is really great. These are great. It's great to look at a chart and say, hey, if I make my bare minimum, I'm doing good. If I hit that sweet spot, I know what I'm doing is working. And now let's see what worked and multiply it. And let's get to that happy place. So it's a step by step. Okay. So know that you're not going to make anything less than the bare minimum because we always do somehow, some way, even if it's like the last second, we always are able to get the dinner on the table. We're able to pay that electricity bill. We're able to make that, our monthly mortgage or rent payment. Like we always can make that bare minimum. Sometimes it's hard. And sometimes, like I said, it comes in last minute, but we're able to usually always do that. So this is kind of a given spot. Next, I want you to strive for that happy place. So you're going to create your plan, okay? You're going to create your plan around the happy place, okay? So you're going to create your goals and your plan and your launch to support reaching whatever your happy place number is. But I want you to know that anything in between the bare minimum and the happy place means that you're well on your way and that whatever you're doing, it's working. You're doing it right. Okay? So take it easy on yourself. Use this income slide and scale. I do this with all of my clients when we're preparing a launch. I use it myself and I like it. It works really well. Okay? And typically you're always going to get to at least the sweet spot just because you've done the exercise. So remember that your goals are going to dictate the strategies you focus on always, okay? Knowing what goals you want to reach are going to help you determine what strategies you're going to focus on in order to reach those goals. So once you figure out your goals, now you know exactly what strategies to take in order to reach the goals. But if you don't do these steps, then you just have gaps in your process along the way, and that causes for a lackluster launch, okay? Let's dive into step number 3, your niche clarity. So this is another exercise that I do still, and I do this with all of my clients. You have to know who your ideal client is. You got to know what their big pain point or challenge or obstacle is. And then you need to know how you are the one. How are you the one that's going to help them bridge the gap from where they are right now to where they want to be? One of the biggest things that my clients and people in my community tell me they struggle with is articulating to their potential clients how they are the ones that can help them, how they, like, what are the benefits of working with you. This seems to be really challenging for people, and this is a big gap in your sales process. This is a huge reason why a lot of entrepreneurs do not close more sales, because they have no idea how they really help their clients. And when their client says, you know, how are you going to help me do this? What are we going to do? How is this any different from what I've been doing? Or how is this any different from the past coach that I invested in? If you don't know how to answer these things really quickly, really clearly, congruently, then you lose sales. You're going to lose sales. Absolutely. So you need to get as clear as you can on your niche. But here's the flip side to this. In order for you to get really clear on your niche, you also need to be getting on the phone and doing discovery calls, sales calls, surveying, polling, asking your people what they're challenging, or what they're challenged with, or struggling with, or what it is they desire. You need to get to know your people, because they're going to give you the answers that you need. The ones that you come up with on your own are not accurate, and those don't work. So you need to go ask your people. I tell my clients that you're not going to nail your niche. You could get clarity on your niche, but you're not going to nail your niche until you work with clients, until you work with some people and you get experience and you learn what it is they're really challenged with and how you help them. Until you start doing that, you're not going to be able to nail this part, but you can get as clear as you can to get started. I share many, many strategies on how to do this inside this group here, and in my free trainings, but you definitely need to start here. And then as you work with clients, make it your mission to master your niche, so that you can really be able to articulate to people why it's you they need to invest in, and why it's your program over anybody else's. You have to remember, there's a lot of people putting offers out there. If yours doesn't stand out, you don't sell. So again, it goes back to, you need to have that right traffic. So you're not just blasting promotion to everybody. You want to make sure that the people that you are reaching out to is the hottest potential buyers possible. Why would you waste your time on anything else? Okay, so you really need to look at that ideal hot traffic, the right traffic, your ideal clients, and then put in the right sellable offer in front of them, okay? The type of traffic you attract is going to dictate your results. So if you are noticing that maybe you're booking a lot of discovery calls, but you're not closing sales, it's your traffic, okay? If people are booking discovery calls, but you're not closing sales, you're either getting the wrong people on the phone with you. It could be that you don't know how to conduct sales properly. That's usually a big one too. But if you get the right people on the phone, you should be able to close the sale. And if you're getting the right people on the call and you know they're the right people, but you're still not closing, you are not, there's a gap in your sales process and you're not conducting your sales calls properly. You have to pre-qualify your buyers. Okay, so let's talk about this. Here's why this is so important. If you're not pre-qualifying, then how do you identify the right people for your offer? So the last thing that I want my people doing is going out and taking an offer and throwing it in front of random people. Why would you do that? They might not need it. It might not be the solution for them. And what's happening is you're kind of tarnishing your relationship or potential relationship with that person, because now you're putting something in front of them that's not congruent for them. So now they are hesitant, and they are doubting that you're the person for them. So now you're ruining that relationship before it even gets started. You're not supposed to just go out there and sell and promote. You need to be a little more strategic with how you're doing this if you want to generate sales. So you need to identify who the right people are for your particular offer. It's also important because you'll be able to convert more discovery calls. When you get the right people on the phone, you will close sales. I closed 98% for the past 5.5 years on every single sales call I do. I close 98%. I mean, I feel comfortable saying I close every sales call if it's with the right person. And I pre-qualify my people, so I do get the right people on the phone. And that's one of the most key factors in why I'm able to close 98% of my sales calls. One is because I get only the right people on my sales calls. I don't book just calls with anybody. They have to go through a process to get on the phone with me. The second is I know who my ideal clients are, so I know who my target market is. I can put the right offer in front of them in a heartbeat. The next thing is I rock at sales. That's my jam. It's what I do. That's my genius. I'm really good at sales calls. I'm good at sales. It's what I do. So you need to start with getting the right people on the phone to begin with, okay? It also eliminates activities that produce little to no results. When you're out there marketing and promoting and networking and engaging and you're not producing results, that's a lot of freaking work. That's a lot of time, it's a lot of effort, it's a lot of work. And God forbid you're doing all of that and not getting results from it. That is absolutely disgraceful. I mean, that just sucks, right? That's a shitty feeling. I've been there. You want to make sure that the activities you're focusing on are giving you a return on investment. So making sure that I have identified your niche and you're creating free content, valuable content, and paid content that's actually what they need and that they're willing to purchase is really key. Otherwise, you're going to spend a lot of time on activities that don't produce results. The other thing, it allows you to create sellable offers a lot faster and easier. I don't know about you guys, but I know that for years, sadly, as pitiful as this sounds, I literally spent years creating offers that I don't even know what they were. Honestly, I don't know how they helped people. I don't really know what the benefits of them were. I don't even know what they were. I never surveyed. I never asked people what they wanted. I just created offers that I saw other people creating because they were selling them. So I figured, shit, if they can do it, why can't I? I can do it too. I'm just going to mimic what they're doing and sell it. And I thought that was the strategy. And I didn't make any money. I worked really hard. It was pitiful. It was really sad. And it sucked. It was a time suck for me. But I didn't know who my niche was. And I didn't realize that I had to actually do these steps. I figured if I just create a good offer and I put it out in front of everybody, it will sell. And it doesn't work that way. That actually is a really bad strategy. You're going to work a lot harder and you're probably not going to get anywhere near the results that you'll get if you take a few days to a week to go ask people what they want and then create an offer that provides the solution to what they said they wanted. It's really that simple. Now, when you do that, you go forward and you'll create offers that sell so much faster and easier, and you're going to be like, wow, so much less effort. The other thing is it positions you as an expert that knows what they're talking about, right? And has genuine solutions. This goes back to being intentional and being in integrity. You're supposed to be selling things that are solution-based. You're not just selling something just to put money in your pocket. You're supposed to be helping people, right? So you need to be of service. You need to create offers, programs, services that actually provide solutions to people, your people. So this naturally positions you as someone who knows their shit, because when you are constantly just creating content and offers that are speaking to your people, they see you as a freaking genius. They see you as this expert that can help them, that knows all about, sales or marketing or Facebook ads or mindset or health. And they see you as that expert. But when you're randomly talking about something different every day or just throwing stuff out there that doesn't have an intention, it doesn't provide an actual solution, it's not really genuine, it's more just to throw it out there, or maybe hope to sell something and make some cash, then you're not really being in integrity. You're not showing up to be of service. You're showing up to just be of sales. And people don't see you as an expert. They see you as an amateur who has no idea what they're doing. You don't want that. You don't want people to think that you're an amateur that has no idea what they're doing. You want people to be thriving over you and drooling over your content and saying, oh my God, this person's an expert. She knows what the hell she's doing and talking about. She's always speaking my language. She's giving me stuff I need, like every time I turn around. I love reading her emails. I love watching her webinars. I love to do her Facebook Lives. I love her. I want to opt into everything. You want your people to rave about you and see you as that expert. If you don't have an intention in your marketing, you're not going to be seen as that person. You're just going to be seen as another entrepreneur throwing out information. Information does not hold anywhere near as much value as action, as strategies, as proven steps, as value does. Okay, so you don't want to just be, this person who throws out a ton of information. Again, you'll be able to work smarter and not harder. You don't want to have to work really hard if you don't have to. Like, why would you want to do that? You want to be able to be smarter, be a little more strategic, plan stuff out. Don't rush to get stuff out there. Slow down a little bit. Be gentle on yourself. Be honest with where you're at, and this is your starting point. And then be gentle with yourself. Take some time to really dig deep and figure out why you're doing what you're doing and what you want to see happen and what are your intentions. How do you want to help people and who do you want to help? Why do you want to help those people? So be a little more strategic with your marketing and the things that you're doing online so that you're not working so damn hard. You're going to get bigger results a lot faster with less effort if you follow these steps and you get clear on your niche, okay? If you do this work. So I have a 6-step niche clarity process that I take my clients through. And because I said I'm going to dive deep with you here today, I promise to do that. And I'm going to give you all these freaking juicy bad nuggets here. I'm going to actually show you and tell you what the 6 steps are that I take my clients through to really get clear on their niche, at least as a starting point. So the first thing is decide on who your ideal client is. Here's the key nugget. You get to create who you work with. Is that not freaking amazing? I'm giving you permission to do that right now. You create your clients, okay? So you decide who this person is. You decide what that relationship looks like. You decide how you work with them. You get to create your client. When you're working with a client, you created that client. When you're on the discovery call or a sales call with someone, you created that. Okay, this is up to you. It's your business. It's all by design. So you get to decide all of this. There is no blueprint to here's what your ideal client looks like. No, because you get to create who that person is. That's step number 1. Number 2, what's their biggest challenge? Now that you've identified who you want to work with, who your dreamy client is, go ask those people, what is their biggest challenge right now? What are you struggling with? What is in your way that's preventing you from hitting your goals that if it was in front of you, you would totally buy it? What is that big challenge, okay, that they're willing to pay to make go away? If you can't answer that, if you can't answer, hey, are they willing to pay to make this go away? Then you got to go do some more research. The next thing is find out what their desired outcome is. This is key. A lot of people focus on just the challenge, but here's the thing. A lot of people can probably solve their challenge. It's can you get them to that desired outcome that makes you stand out? That's what makes you the expert. It's not just that you can help solve their problem, but if you could take them to that desired outcome, the end result that they ultimately want, that makes you an expert. That makes you stand out. Okay, because all in all, I think that you could probably solve your own challenges if you really sat down for a minute and thought about it, but it's getting to that desired outcome that we can't do by ourselves. So that's what's really going to make you stand out. So go find out what that is. So don't just focus on the challenge that they're having, but also what's the desired outcome. The next thing is you need to figure out, not them, but you need to figure out what do they need to do? What do they need to change in their business or their life? What do they need to learn in order for them to reach that desired income? There's a gap somewhere and there's something in the way that is preventing them from moving the needle forward. You need to figure out what that is. Okay, that's your job as the expert. The next thing is why they're ready right now. You really need to confirm people's commitments, because a lot of people tend to be, discovery call happy. They'll book calls with all kinds of people, and, they'll say they're interested in all sorts of things, and maybe they'll even make investments. But the problem is, what if they're not doing the work? Then they're not getting the results. And that comes back on you as an expert. That makes it look like your program didn't help them get results, or you as a coach, or, a consultant or a service-based provider, you didn't help them get their desired outcome. It looks bad for you. So you want to make sure the people you're working with, you want to find out, why are they ready to do this now when they were not previously ready? Because I have asked this question, and I will tell you, here's another nugget, I guess. I've asked this question on my sales call, like, why are you ready now? Like, you said you've invested in other coaches, you've invested in a lot of courses and trainings, and you didn't get results. So why are you ready to do this right now? And they'll say, well, I've tried these other things, and I felt like they were out of alignment. And so I really didn't do the work. And so I didn't get the results. And, I feel like I'm ready now. So that tells me that they don't typically follow through. So now we need to talk about that. So you're saying that you weren't doing the work before. And you know that that's why you didn't get the results, because you didn't do the work. So why are you ready to do the work now? What's changed? That's key. I've literally said no to working with people before because they said, well, I don't know. I'm just hoping that I'm finally at a place where I've hit my low. I don't work with finalies, or I'm hoping. I don't work with people like that. You're in or you're out. Because if you don't show up and do the work, I don't care who you work with. You can work with Marie Forleo. You can work with Gabrielle Bernstein. You can work with David Nagel. If you don't do the work they teach you, you're not going to get the results. You know what I mean? You could get $1 million blueprint that literally says, here's how to go make $1 million. But if you don't take the actions and do the work and you're not committed, you're not getting the results. And so you as a coach, as a leader, as an expert, you need to be going through this niche clarity, and you need to confirm that the people that you're thinking about working with, because you're the interviewer. Okay, you're doing the interviewing, and you're going to decide who you work with. So you should make sure that the people that you're considering working with are ready to do the work. You need to ask the questions to get those answers, because if you're enrolling clients and you have no idea why they are unsuccessful, then how do you know you can get them to that end goal? You want to work with A players only, meaning, hey, you know what? Maybe I didn't do the work in the previous programs that I invested in, but I'm ready now, and here's why. I'm going to tell you why I'm ready now. Those are the people that you want. You don't want the people that say, I don't know, I invested in a lot of programs, but I just never do the work. I get bored after a while. You need to make sure that that's no longer the case. Otherwise, you just signed up another client that's not going to get results, that's not going to do the work, and you're probably going to have to chase them around and drag them through your business. Not ideal. So here's the sixth step. Where are they spending their time? So you need to figure out, online, offline, both, I don't care, but you need to figure out, where are they? Where do they spend their time, so that you can go put yourself in front of them? You have to really think, you got to be more strategic with your time. You need to value your time a little bit more, because you really want to be thinking about, when you put time into your business, you don't get that time back. So what you do with every second really counts, especially when you're trying to build sales. If you work in a 9-to-5 and you're trying to build this business on the side, every single minute that you put into your business is going to count. So you want to make it worth it, right? Make every second count. So you want to be looking at, where are they? So I can go put myself in front of them. If they're on Facebook and you're on LinkedIn, there's a gap. What are you doing? Get over on Facebook, right? If your people it's in your Facebook group and you are, on other people's Facebook groups, then you're losing these opportunities. So you need to be looking at, what are the most important things that I'm doing each day that's getting me in front of hot traffic, my ideal clients who are ready to buy. What do I need to do today to go get in front of those people? Ideally, if you're generating under 5K a month, that's the only thing you should be focusing on, is getting in front of people and booking sales calls. All right, the type of traffic that you attract is going to dictate your results. So again, it goes back to, if you're not bringing in that ideal traffic, if you are spending time on cold traffic that you have no idea who they are, you have no idea if they need what you're offering, you have no idea if you can even help them. If you're wasting your time on the wrong traffic, you will not produce results. If you worked all day, you're not going to produce results. So you need to focus on the right traffic and then get a sellable offer in front of them, okay? These two things go hand in hand. You cannot have one without the other. If you're not in front of the right traffic with the right sellable offer, you don't close sales. Let's talk about step number 4, the client experience. So if I see a few of my clients on the call or on this training today, so they know all about this client experience because we just did this in our training this week. On our training call, we talked about what the client experience is and why it's a non-freaking negotiable. This is a non-negotiable thing. So let me explain what this is. The client experience is the process in which you take your clients through, specifically, to bridge the gap from where they are to where they want to be, step by step. So if you're on this training right now and you're hearing this, then I want you to think about when you are on a discovery call with a client and you're talking about working together, you're listening to their challenges, and you're thinking about, how could I help them? What ways could I support them? What are some things I could do to help them? And then your client says, and you get to the point where your client or your potential client wants to know about your package. Well, there's this gap. And then there's this little bit of a pause because you're trying to think about the offer and what it looks like, and you're trying to answer their questions. The problem is you immediately trigger doubt in their mind now. Now they're hesitant because you paused. The reason you paused is because you're not quite sure, step by step specifically, how you're going to help your client from where they are to where they want to be. You know what your offer is, and you can go down all the dirty deets, right? You could go down all the dirty details of, oh, we'll meet once a week for 45 minutes. It's a 3-month program, blah, blah, blah. Nobody gives a shit about that. Who cares? I want to know what's in it for me. I want to know how you're going to help me because here's where I'm at. I've invested tons of money, so I'm sick of friggin' spending money. I'm broke. I'm thinking about investing in you. This is the outcome I want. How are you going to do that? How are you going to help me do that? They don't give a shit about your 45-minute call or session every other week. They don't care. They want to know specifics. And if you don't know what those are, then you just lost that sale. You just lost it. They're going to go somewhere else to a professional who's going to say, this is what we're going to do. Here's what this will look like. And then you take them through step by step exactly how. The how is the selling point here. How. The benefits. How are you taking them from where they are to where they want to be, step by step, and then you got to tell them why every step is so important. That's how you sell them. That is how you will sell them into their solution. So let's talk about why this is important. You have to be able to tell your potential clients why they need your program, service, or offer, period. They're not going to come to you and say, oh, I love that we have a session every week for 45 minutes for 3 months for $3,000. I'm in, I'm sold, you got me. They're not going to do that. You need to tell them why. You have to secure their doubts, their worries, their fears, their objections, their insecurities. You need to secure that. The way to do that is by demonstrating to them exactly how you are going to help them inside your program and why this program is for them. Number 2, it's a huge selling point, okay? This is coming from someone who closes 98% of her calls for the past 5.5 years. It's a huge selling point when you can give step-by-step visuals to your potential clients, demonstrating exactly, step by step, how you're going to help them get from where they are to where they want to be. It's a huge selling point that not a lot of people are doing. So it really makes you stand out, and it gives your potential clients a huge experience with you that they're going to go talk about. Okay. It also, you know exactly the structure. So step by step, you know that your sessions or your trainings with your clients, you know exactly what those are going to look like. So when someone says, oh, okay, 3-month coaching package, great. What are we going to do in that 3 months? Like, how does this look? And you say, well, we're going to look at there's 2 scenarios. This could be one. This used to be me. Oh, great, Anne, I love it. 3-month package, that sounds great. So what are we doing in that 3 months? Like, what do our sessions look like? My response used to be, well, we're going to take a look at what you're going through at that time, what you're struggling with, what your challenge is. And each session, we're going to work through whatever that challenge is. Who's buying that? Who's freaking buying that? I'm not buying that. That doesn't work anymore. You have to tell them exactly. Now, let me give you another scenario. Here's another example. This is how I do my sales today. So you just heard how I used to do them. Hence the reason I was broke for a very long time. Now let me share with you how I do them now. Wow, okay, Anne, a 3-month coaching package with you. This sounds good. So how is the session structured? Like, what will we do in our 3 months together? Like, what will that time look like? Oh, no problem. Let me tell you. So the very first thing, based on what you and I have talked about, what you're saying you're stuck with and you're challenged with, based on all of that, these are my recommendations. This is how I feel the 3 months would be best spent so that we can get you to that end goal as quickly and as fast as possible. So the first thing I think we need to do is we need to go through and do a cash injection. I want to get you some money in the door really fast. We need to get you an influx of cash. It's going to boost your confidence. It's going to give you some hands-on experience with some potential clients, and it's going to help you replenish some of the investment that you're making on this package. That way, you're not stressing out and focusing on the money that you're having to invest when we need to be focused on other things. So I want to eliminate that for you first. The next thing is, on our first session, what we're going to do is we're going to dive into your niche clarity. I want to get you really clear around your messaging, around your offers, around where you're spending your time, the specific activities you're going to be doing, so that we're maximizing your efforts, or minimizing your efforts and maximizing your results. So I'm going to do that. Okay, so here now I've told them the first step. Then I'm going to go on and say, in the second session, given that everything goes great in the first, in the second session, that's when we're going to dive into your sales. So I want to make sure that you really, truly master your sales. When you're booking discovery calls, I want you getting only the right people, and I want you to know exactly how to close that call where it feels really good. It's a lean back approach, and you don't have to hear constant objections, okay? And then in session 3, once we do that, we're going to start talking about some list building activities. So anyway, that is what I would do. And what I would tell them is I would say, obviously, I hope that in the 3 months we can go through each of these steps, obviously in a smaller version of what it would be in a longer stretched out package. But we'll do as much of this as we can in the packages. And it's all just going to depend on how quick you work and how fast we go through everything. That's how I sell today. Big difference from before. But do you notice on the second example, I was able to literally walk them right through step by step, specifically what we would do in their sessions. This eliminates objections because they're like, oh my God, we're doing this, 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 and this. That's great. These are great steps. Oh my God, I need all of that. All right, let's move on. It's also going to help you create offers, messaging, sales pages, free trainings, all of it. And it's going to help you organize your responses to prospect questions. So when people are asking you questions, you're going to know how to answer them without fumbling, without stumbling, without pausing. And overall, your business needs systems and structures, period. So let's talk about how to create this client experience. So it's a 3-step client experience. So where your ideal client is right now, where they want to be ultimately, and then of course creating a 1-step at a time action plan that works backwards. So you're going to take their end goal to where they want to be and you're going to create a program that is step-by-step, working backwards. So take their end goal and then break that down. What is the very first step they need to do? And you take them through step-by-step, one thing at a time, like I just shared in my example with you. So let's do an example. You have a client who is currently earning $2,500 a month. Okay, so here they are earning $2,500 a month, but they want to be earning $5,000 a month. Your job is to lay out the steps, one step at a time. How are they going to go from $2,500 a month to $5,000 a month? How are you helping them do that? You would need to look at how are they currently creating $2,500? What are they doing right now to generate that money? And what would need to change, be added or removed in order for them to double that income, preferably quickly? Okay, so this can't take forever. Like, it needs to be relatively fast. So look at things like, what are their offers? What are the price points? How are they getting clients right now? What are their marketing activities? What do they need to do next in steps to double that income without adding a ton more work? Your job as the expert is to be looking at this stuff right here. And this isn't everything, but this is a good portion of it. Let's do another example. Let's say your client is 50 pounds overweight, okay? Let's say that they want to be 135 pounds before their wedding, okay? You would need to look at how their current how are their current lifestyle and what would need to change, be added or removed in order for them to get to that ideal weight before their wedding. You have to look at this. So maybe you're going to look at their eating habits. Maybe you're going to look at the triggers that they have. Maybe you need to look at the family, the support, the influences that they have. What do they need to do next in steps to begin to lose weight, live a healthy and manageable lifestyle that they can continue to maintain after you? That's what you would need to be looking at as a starting point. The client experience lives inside your client journey. So let's talk about that. This is step number 5, your client journey. This is the journey that you bring your clients through as they continue to work with you to reach that ultimate goal, that desired outcome, that end goal, okay? So AKA your packages, your journey is your offers. So the experience lives inside your offer. So let's talk about why this is important, and we'll talk about what your offers might be in a minute. This is important because you want to create packages that solve your clients' biggest challenges, right? And you're going to do that through a journey of different offers. You're probably not just going to have like one offer for like all of your clients, because some of your ideal clients are going to be at different places and they'll need different types of support from you. So you're not just going to create one package that solves everything, but you will create one package that solves one thing. I need to make that really clear. You won't just create one package that solves everything, but you will create one package that solves one thing. So don't stuff your package. You can have a couple of different offers. This leaves space to help your client get laser focused, take actionable steps without burning them out, and actually get a result, okay? Then when they're ready, you can move them into your next package, which is essentially their next step. So everything is one step at a time. Don't stuff your offers with the whole kitchen sink. This will not get people to buy. This is a huge misunderstanding. A lot of entrepreneurs think that the more they put in the package, the more people will buy it. That's not true, because the more you put in it, the more confusing it is, the more complicated it looks. And it probably is for you and your client. The other thing with this too is we want things quick. We are lazy. We don't have a lot of time. We don't want to work a shit ton. We just want things quick. We want it easy. Okay? So if your package looks like it's going to be a bunch more to-dos on their to-do list, they're not buying it. So client journey. You're going to create packages that solve one thing at a time, okay? So this way your client can feel supported, and they need to have time to implement and get results. So if you're trying to stuff too much in, they don't have a whole lot of time to digest it and actually implement it. Remember, You don't want to be a person that just dishes out information. You want to be giving people action steps so they can go off and actually get a result. If your clients aren't getting a result, then you're not going to be seen as an expert. They're not going to go off and talk about you. They're not going to be a reoccurring client, which means you're always chasing clients. If you want repeat clients and reoccurring clients, then you need to help them get results. If they don't feel supported and they're not getting results, they're not coming back to you. They're not telling other people about you, okay? And then from there, you can move to the next step. So sometimes your clients are not going to get the results that you or they expected in the first package or during your first couple sessions. And so you might have to take a longer time with them. That's okay. So again, you want to make sure that they're getting results. That is number one. You also want to consider that all of your clients are not going to be at the same place at the same time. They're just not. So you need to adjust accordingly. So there's two types of main offers. You have a high ticket, and let's talk about what a high ticket is. It requires a call with you, okay? It requires less sales. So because it's priced higher, you don't need to have as many people buy it to reach your money goals. So it requires less sales. So that kind of substitutes or justifies, oh my God, I got to do sales calls. You don't have to do a whole lot of them because, again, you need less sales. You need less volume with a high ticket offer because, so this is good for people who are like, I don't have a big list. I don't have a really big social media following. Well, then a high ticket is really good for you because you don't need a lot of people because you don't need a lot of sales. The value in a high ticket offer, I mean, almost always sells itself, okay? Minimal to no technology is needed for a high ticket offer. You do not need a sales page. Okay, if you're offering a ticket or an offer that is a high ticket, $2,000 or more, you do not need a sales page. You bypass the sales page and you book phone calls. You get people on a call with you. It's a fast cash strategy. It's the fastest, easiest way. When you combine a high ticket offer with a sales call, it is the fastest, easiest way to generate and get an influx of cash. And you could do like a 3-month package. So you have recurring income for 3 months. Super fast and easy strategy. And high ticket offers sell way easier than a low ticket offer. So overall, there's less effort needed to sell it. So then there's a low ticket offer, which obviously is the opposite of the high ticket. It requires more sales because it's priced lower. So to reach your money goals, you need more of these, which in return requires more volume. You need a lot of people to reach out to because you need a lot more sales. So if you don't have a big list, if you don't have a good social media following, then you probably can't fill a low ticket and reach your money goals, okay? The other thing though is if you don't have a big list and you don't have a big social media following, but those people are really engaged, then do your profit possibility and see if you have enough volume to generate the amount of sales that you need. Can be a little bit harder to sell, mostly just because there's not as much value. There's still value, but there's not as much value in a lower ticket offer as there is a high ticket. High ticket generally gives them access to you. It just gives more. That's why it's priced higher. So there's a lot more value. There's a lot more support and guidance in a high ticket offer. So because a lot of people don't do high ticket, like a lot of people don't do like one-on-one coaching anymore and stuff. If you do one-on-one coaching, that puts you in a really good position right now because a lot of people are moving more into the passive model. And so new entrepreneurs coming in are like, I need one-on-one coaching and nobody offers it for under 20,000 anymore. So again, a lot of people still want that high level support. So that makes the low ticket a little harder to sell. There is a sales page required. So that's time, money that you're going to have to invest to get it up and running and have it actually be a sales page that will convert. If you're not good with technology, this is a time suck. You need to hire someone to help you do that. So again, time, money, effort. You do need a sales page. You're not going to get on the phone with 40, 50, 60 people to reach your money goals. Doing a sales call. That's just insanity. It does take longer because overall you just need more sales. So the marketing takes a little bit longer. Again, unless you have the big list and the big social media following to do this. If you do, then great, you can totally do a low ticket offer. It is more work overall just because it requires more stuff. So how do you choose an offer? Okay, so I typically have my clients start with a high ticket offer to their hottest traffic first, because we talked about this. It's the easiest and fastest way for you to generate income. You guys can all hop off this training right now today and take these steps I just gave you, and you can literally go reach out to your hottest traffic and you can book sales calls today. And by the end of this week, you can have thousands of dollars signed contracts. Like that fast. That is how it works. There's no sales page. There's nothing. You have a contract and a pay link. Go book sales calls. It's that easy. That is where I typically have just about all of my clients start. And then we can start to look at, their colder, less hot traffic. So remember that we're looking at hitting that 5-figure mark quickly and easily. Okay, so you want to be doing things that are quick and easy. Otherwise, you can make this take a really long time, and it doesn't need to. So look at your profit possibility and then your goals, and determine what offers and price points you're going to need in place to reach that desired income, just the same as you would look at for your clients. These things all have to come together. You also want to make sure that you're totally excited and lit up about your offer, because if you're not excited about it, neither are your potential clients. And if you're not excited about it, you're not going to do the work. So here's how to position your offer for an easy and fast yes. Okay, again, I am dropping nuggets here for you today. Number one, you want to give them a quick win. So typically, and I'm going to go over the 6 things that your offer absolutely needs to have. Okay, so be writing this shit down. First of all, you need to give them a quick win. When somebody is going to take fast action and sign up with you, or when any client is going to sign up to work with you, they should get something right away from you, like before you even begin working together. Some sort of quick win, okay? So not a to-do item. You don't want them to have more work on their to-do list, but an actual win. They should get some access to you. So your package or offer should include access to you. And again, whether it's a high ticket or a low ticket, it could be a Facebook group access. It could be, an access to you on the phone. It doesn't matter, but they need access. The other thing is materials. And these need to be easy to digest, fast to consume, and really, really easy to implement. Because remember, like we talked about in the beginning, you do not want to be known as an expert who just delivers a shit ton of information. There's enough information. People have enough information. Actually, people are in information overload right now. They have so much information, they don't know what to do with it all. So your job is not to be dishing out more information. You want to dish out action steps, strategies, step-by-step instructions, quick, simple, easy to-dos, okay? That they can literally just take and go implement right away. Because remember, to get success, you have to take action. If you're not taking action, you're not going to get success. It's not going to happen. So you want to make your materials like one-sheet downloadables or a checklist or a quick, audio or video training, something that's really fast and easy, preferably that, no matter where they are in the world, they can digest it and take it in. And you want to make it really fast for them to go off and implement. So again, it needs to be action-based. Offer easy payment plan options. Don't be so tied to people paying in full. What's wrong with a monthly recurring income? Like, hello, I love that. I would much rather have a recurring monthly payment than get all my payments right up front. The other thing too is you don't want to start a relationship with your client where they have a bunch of fear and negative energy around money because they just had to go bankrupt to invest in you. I mean, really, that's not in integrity at all. Why do that? I mean, you can offer a flexible payment plan option that allows you to have recurring income and them to not go bankrupt just to work with you. There's some I think there's mixed emotions with this, because you'll hear a lot of experts say at the end of the day, you get the sale and who cares? Like, you know, they need to make the payment. You know, they can sell this and find that and borrow this. Now, here's the thing. Absolutely, they can borrow the money, they can sell some stuff, but should it be a stressful situation? No. So if a potential client comes to you and says, I can't afford it right now, like, if I invest in this, I can't pay my mortgage. Well, shit, I don't want you to be friggin' homeless to work with me. Let me give you some quick ways you could go make some extra money to make this investment. Please pay your mortgage. Or if they say, I can barely feed my kids right now. Okay, I'm not going to take money or food out of your children's mouths. I'm all set with that. Let me give you some ways that you can go off and generate some extra cash so that that is not being affected. You don't want to be taking money that people, you don't want to be like convincing people to invest in you, or starting the relationship off with them saying, quick, how am I going to make money? Fast, you have to help me. Hurry up. I don't know how I'm paying my mortgage next week. I gave you all my money. Give them some easy payment plan options so that money is not an objection while they're working with you. Number 5, you need to have intentional urgency. You don't need to be putting the fear of death into people. You don't need to be doing scare tactics. You don't need to be doing that. You want to be intentional. So basically, you're just setting boundaries. You're saying, listen, I'm taking a stand for you. I am putting this solution in front of you. I'm going to help you every step of the way. I'm going to guide you. I'm going to hold your hand. I'm going to be there to support you. I want you to take a stand, and I want you to jump on this right now. We're not going to procrastinate. I'm not going to enable you to procrastinate and think about it and to jeopardize saying yes to something you know you need, because I let you go off and think about it and talk yourself out of it. The other reason is because you got to take a stand for them, or they're not going to do it themselves. The other reason that you want to set this intentional urgency is because you have boundaries, right? And you have goals in your business, and you want to honor those who are taking fast action. So you need to make sure you set these boundaries and limiters up. So make sure you put an intentional urgency in place, not scare tactics, not the fear of death, not do it now or your life is going to end. Like, that type of stuff is ridiculous. I see a lot of people doing it, and I would never purchase their stuff. And I know for a fact that half of the stuff they say that will happen if I don't invest is not going to happen. And so, be intentional and be in integrity with this, okay? The next step is congruent and juicy bonuses. So when I'm working with my clients, we always give lots of bonuses, but they need to be congruent. They need to make sense. So you want to make these as like additional next steps for people. Or I know I'm teaching them how to do sales inside the program. So I think that overcoming the biggest objections would be a great bonus for them. And it's going to fast track the process or the sales training inside the program. So you really want to think about what things are they going to need throughout your program to really get the max benefits of your program. What additional things might they request or ask for or really need in order to keep taking steps? Those are the types of bonuses you want to give them. Not just bonuses because, I created this whole program, I'm going to throw it in there. If you just stuff random stuff in your packages, it doesn't make it look valuable, okay? You need to be strategic with how you do this. So create an offer that you're confident in and that provides a solution to a specific problem that your audience is having right now, okay? Step number 6 is going to be your profit plan. Every single thing that you have learned here today does not mean anything if you don't take action. So if you're that type of person that just comes on and consumes some steps, you consume the information, maybe you even write it down, but then you go off and you're like, I got to do this, and I'm going to go do this, and I got this other video I want to watch. You are that type that has shiny object syndrome. You just sit around and consume a shit ton of information, but you don't do anything with it. And that's why you don't get results. You can't just consume a bunch of information, because although knowledge is power, it's only power if you use it. So if you're not taking action, then you just know a bunch of shit that you're not doing anything with. What is the point of that? So you absolutely need to be taking action. So information is only valuable when you apply it to your business and make it work for you. Knowledge is not power without results, okay? So you need to create a 90-day plan that supports your profit possibility, which we talked about at the beginning, your goals, and your availability. So all of these things need to come together in order for your plan to work. You can't have gaps. It needs to be manageable and it needs to be actionable. So you want to break this down and simplify it. You don't want this to be complicated. You don't want to look at this plan and say, oh my God, how will I ever get all this done? If you're looking at it and you're thinking that, chances are you've just stuffed too much into it. You want to simplify it, because if you can't take action on your plan, and if it's not manageable, you're not going to do it. And then that just means you're not going to get the results anyway. So here's the elements that you'll want to look at. These are the bigger elements. You want to look at your annual big goal, because remember, you work backwards. So you're going to look at that big goal, and then every step you take leading to that is going to lead you to that goal. So you're working backwards. So look at your annual big goals. Then you want to look at your quarterly goals, monthly, weekly, and then daily action steps. This is how I do everything, because when you do this, you have these daily steps and you know they're leading you to your weekly goal, monthly goal, quarterly, and annually, because you've worked backwards from the big goal to determine the steps each day, each week, each month, each quarter. Okay? That's how this works. This is how you create a profit plan. You also need to consider who and what you need in place to support your profit plan. This might be systems, processes, team, or other support. But when you're mapping all this out, do the exercise that I said, where you do a total brain dump on every single thing that needs to be done to reach these goals. And then divide that list. What are the tasks you're going to do? And what are the tasks that somebody or something else needs to do? Okay, that is how you figure out how you're going to reach your goals using your plan. You can't do it all. So you're not going to pull this off without ever making investments, okay? It's not going to happen. For those of you who are really, really tight and stingy with your money and you hang on to it like no more is ever coming in, I'm just going to tell you and be really straight, because this is how I teach my clients. I put everything out there as it is. I'm not a bullshitter, and I'm not going to beat around the bush. If you're not willing to make investments and you're not willing to spend money to make money, go get a 9-to-5 job, because entrepreneurship costs money. You don't make money without spending some sort of money. It doesn't mean that you got to sell your house and go broke, or give away your kids. It just means that you do have to make investments. And if you're not willing to take that risk on yourself, you're not meant to be an entrepreneur, because being an entrepreneur is nothing but a risk. You have no idea. There is no guarantee. There's no certainty. You can't see what's coming up. You can't see around the corner. You have no idea how all of this is going to play out. So every single day that you fire up your computer and you start doing stuff, you are taking a risk in your ability, in yourself. So if you don't believe in yourself, then yes, it's going to be very hard to be successful. If you don't follow through and you don't take action, you better get somebody to help hold you accountable, because you are the only person that can make shit happen in your business. You're the only person that can get out of bed, turn your laptop or computer on, and start doing the work. Nobody else can do this for you. So you absolutely, every step of the way, have to be asking yourself, what or who do I need to help me make this happen? And then you need to go make the investment with the trust in yourself that you're going to do anything and everything to make it pay off. That is part of being an entrepreneur. And if you're not able or willing to do that, you're not cut out for this, and you will not be successful. Okay? Again, I'm going to tell it just like it is, because I see way too many entrepreneurs that are beating themselves up. They're not doing the work. They're not taking the steps. They're trying to skip over everything that they're learning. to get some big end goal, and then it's not happening. And the problem is you're trying to do it all by yourself, and you're basically asking yourself, how can I do every bit of this for free? Or how can I do all of this without making those investments? I will make the investments later when I have money. I will make the investment after I get one more client. That one more client doesn't come. That's not how this works, okay? So if you're not, if that's what you're doing, then you're gonna have a lackluster launch. You're gonna work way harder than it takes, and you're probably not gonna really generate much sales that's worth talking about, okay? So let's recap. This is what I want you to go do. Look at your profit possibility, also known as your inventory. Go see what you have and what you don't have in place to work with, okay? That is number one. Number two, map out your goals and then compare it against your profit possibility to make sure that you have in place what you need to reach those goals. And if you don't, that's okay. Write it down so you can go get that thing or those people to help you. Number three, do your niche clarity work, okay? Go spend a few days to a week and survey and do your polls and talk to people and ask the questions that you need the answers to. Then create your client experience. You don't create your client journey before your experience. You go off, you create step by step what you're gonna do with your clients. That's the experience you take them through. From there, you can package it, which is your offer, your solution offer. So is that one-on-one coaching? Is that a group program? Is that a workshop? Is it live? Is it virtual? What is it? You have to create the experience first and then put it into a package into the client journey, which is your offer, okay? And then number six, create your profit plan. I would recommend if you're earning 5K or under pretty consistently, so if you're anywhere between I'm broke to like 5K, I would look at 90 days and focus on one offer for each different target market, okay? So you might have a different offer for current clients. You might have a different offer for past buyers. Maybe you have a different offer for leads. I don't know. I would say no more than like 2 offers, okay? So maybe one for past buyers, one for current clients, and then one for everybody else. Looking at hot traffic first, okay? Questions. Does anybody have questions? Let me just look through. Hi, Rachel. Hi, Susan, Lisa. Hi, Lex, Diane, Victoria, Deborah, Sherilyn. I just want to say hi to everybody. Hi, Felice. Hi, Melissa. Okay, Melissa says, hold on, let's see more. Okay, Anne, I love that you're so tireless and continue to put out such great content. Thank you. I am just finally getting to connect with my email list again and offer training. So I am a bit behind where you are in this video, but I'm feeling very motivated to make it work. Absolutely. And Melissa, you can tackle some of the stuff in here. This is very, very like basic stuff. So you can still dive into a lot of this, okay? Let me see. Susan says, I don't know, is it Susan or Suzanne? Says, you are the hardest working rebel in the biz. I always find you have new and refreshing ideas. Oh, thank you, Susan. I love that. Thank you. Well, that is the goal. So I'm glad that I'm bringing that to the table. Okay, so if you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. As always, I will be in there answering your questions. If there's something that you want me to teach on or that you would love to hear me talk about and help and support you with, let me know, because I do webinars like this all the time live, and I'm happy to, I want to make sure that I'm touching on the things you guys need. So drop in the comments if there's anything. Let me know if there's any way I can support you or if you have any questions. And otherwise, I'll keep an eye on the thread for questions after and for my replayers. And other than that, I will see you guys over in the group, and I'm sure that I'll be doing another training next week. So if there's anything special you want me to teach on, let me know. And I will see you guys all on the other side. Make it a great day. Go do the pre-work, the steps, and get yourself some sales.